Hi students, welcome to the lesson 1 of Basic Web Technology course by study9.com. Here is the course contents that we are going to cover today. So, we shall start by discussing about HTML and how it has came into being. Then a brief understanding about different versions of HTML. Also, we shall write and execute our HTML program. After that, we shall start JavaScript and different examples using JavaScript along with explanation. Also, we shall cover CSS and will apply different styles using CSS on our existing HTML document. So, let's start by discussing about HTML. Well, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, which is a standard markup language or documentation language to mark the headings, title, table, forms and many more items that are used to create web pages. Now the question is, what is called a markup language? Well, a markup language is a collection of some markup tags. And HTML markup tags are usually called HTML tags. Tags are the keywords, that is, the tag names. They used to specify the appearance of the content. We shall discuss about the tag features and attributes in the later chapters in more detail. So, for now, just keep it in mind that a HTML document is made up of HTML tags and plain text. Here I have presented a brief history about HTML, that how it is developed. As you can see that IBM first developed a documentation system called GML. Later it was taken by International Standardizing Organization or ISO, and GML was converted to HGML. Finally, Tim Berners-Lee and his team at Particle Physics Lab proposed the present form of the language, that is our HTML. Since the early days of the web, there have been many versions of HTML as HTML, HTML+, HTML 2.0, 3.2, 4.01, XHTML and HTML5. In our tutorial, we shall mostly follow HTML5. The doc type or document type declaration in HTML is a comment or prologue that should be declared before any HTML document that tells the browser about the HTML version that is adopted for preparing the document. Here are some doc type declaration presented for HTML5, HTML 4.01 and XHTML 1.0. But if the document type declaration is appearing a bit confusing, then don't worry, because I am just trying to give here a basic understanding. We shall discuss about this document type declaration later. Now this is our first HTML document. To write this program, we can follow either of the two ways. Either you have to open a notepad, edit this program, save the file on your computer by giving either .htm or .html file extension. Now open the HTML file from your browser. You may also edit this by professional HTML editors like Dreamweaver. However, I strongly recommend you to use a simple text document like Notepad if you are in the beginner's level. So let's run this program by copying the program and pasting it in a notepad. So this is our first HTML.html file. Now just open it from your browser. So this kind of output you will get. This is the heading written in bold letter. Then one paragraph, that is HTML is a markup language. And one more paragraph is given here. After that, one link. On clicking this link, the destination website will be opened. That is our study9.com. Fine. So go back to the presentation. Let's discuss about document. Start from the second line. HTML is already that every HTML document begins with HTML tag and ends with corresponding end tag, that is /HTML. See the last line of the code. A document has the two main sections. One is head, the other one is body. The head section begins with the head tag and ends with /head tag. Inside the head section, title is the most important item. The title begins with title and ends with /title. Title is the heading that appears at the title of the window. If you look at the window, on which I am hovering my mouse, then you can see the text, that is my first HTML page, is displayed over here. The body section begins with body and ends with /body. Body tag has several attributes like background design, background color, text colors, but we shall discuss about the body attributes in our later chapters. Now come inside the body tag. First line is heading. Headings can be created with tags like H1, H2, H3 up to H6. H1 makes the biggest heading and it gradually comes down from H2 to H6. Now come into the next line, that is the text between P and /P. P is the paragraph. So the text between P and /P is displayed as a new paragraph. Next is BR, which means single line break. BR tag is an empty tag in HTML, which means that it has no end tag. The HTML A tag or anchor tag defines a hyperlink. The most important attribute of A element is the href attribute, which indicates the link's destination. When we click on it, the hot text or the link, that is in our case study9.com, will be opened in a new browser page. So the next topic in our tutorial is JavaScript. JavaScript is a free flow language used to create interactive web pages. It is commonly used in websites to perform functions that the HTML cannot do. It can be used for validating forms, detecting browsers, adding dynamic functionalities, and many more. You can go through the definition of JavaScript that is given here, that it is a client-side scripting language used to control the behavior of the web page. Here is the simple example of HTML and JavaScript that will create a pop-up on clicking a button. So onClick is one of the JavaScript event. There are many events available. One is onClick that we have discussed here. The other events are on mouse over, on mouse out, etc. JavaScript statements should be placed inside the script tag. You can place the script tag containing your JavaScript anywhere within your document, but it is preferred way to keep it within the head tags. So if you run this program by writing the code in a notepad, save it and run it from your browser, then you will get this kind of output. On clicking the link, one pop-up will be opened having the text Hello World. This is another example, that is hover. On hovering the mouse on the link, the pop-up will be opened. If I check this button and click OK, then from the next time if I hover it and click it, no pop-up will be opened until I refresh the page. Fine. Now go back to our presentation again. So this is another example using JavaScript. In the previous example, I have shown you on-click attribute. In this example, I will show you on-mouse over and on-mouse out attributes. On-mouse over is another JavaScript function that you want to run when a user moves the mouse on the element, that is hover the mouse. Okay? And on mouse out is just opposite to on mouse over, and it will be called when the user's mouse is moved back from the element. I am copying this program and pasting it in a notepad. Save it. See this line. Image on mouse over, big IMG this, and on mouse out, normal IMG this. See this line. Okay. The function big IMG is triggered when the user moves the mouse pointer over the image, and the function normal IMG is triggered when the mouse pointer is moved back or moved out from the image. So let's run the program to see the output. So this is the output. When we hovering the mouse on the image is getting bigger, and when we are moving the mouse from the image, then it is getting smaller. So students, there are much more examples and things we can do using JavaScript. There are several chapters devoted to JavaScript later in our course. Next is CSS or Cascading Style Sheets, which is responsible for giving the styling approach to the otherwise plain HTML document. CSS is a way to style and present HTML. There are three ways for inserting a style sheet, that is external style sheet, internal style sheet, and inline style sheet. So we shall apply different styles to our plain HTML document by using external, internal, and inline style sheets. So first is external style sheet. External style sheets should be saved with .css file extension, and it is external to any HTML document. So can be applied on many HTML documents by including a link to the style sheet with the link tag. The href attribute inside the link tag indicates the CSS file. This is a very basic example of external style sheet and corresponding CSS file. that will change the background color of the page. So let's run this example by copying the HTML portion inside a HTML file called external css.html. This is the address of the CSS file. We have included the address by using the link tag. Also copy the CSS code, that is body background color green. Copy this code inside a .css file, that is css.css. Now save both of the code and run the program. See, this is the output you will get while running the program. Now the same thing we shall do by using internal style sheet approach. Here we are embedding the CSS code inside the head section of HTML document by using style tag. But I am telling you the internal style sheet approach can be applied on one HTML document only, like this. So you just try this example by yourself and you will get the same output. Now I am going to the inline style sheet. Well, inline styles add the style attribute to the relevant tag only. That is, for example, in P tag, paragraph tag. Here we change the text color, margin, font size, font style, that is normal or italic, and we have chosen italic. One more thing, a CSS declaration always ends with a semicolon. But I shall recommend you to follow the external style sheet approach always, because that will create a separate CSS file, and so you can apply the style on many HTML pages and it will save a lot of work. Anyways, run this code. I am copying this code and pasting it in a notepad. You can see that all the styles are applied on this paragraph only. I mean on the text, that is welcome to CSS. So let's run this code. You will get this kind of output. See, all the styles are applied on this text only. I mean on a specific paragraph, not on the whole page. This is the internal style sheet approach. Going back to our presentation. So I have finished the demo class of JavaScript, CSS and HTML. I hope by now you would have got a basic understanding of these technologies and how they work. In the next chapters, we will be covering these topics in more detail along with more practical examples. So stop thinking and start coding.